So masturbation, if done consciously, can be a tool for tremendous expansion of the pleasure that you feel and release some of the tension patterns you have that are causing you to ejaculate quickly and releasing these impulsive drives around how you experience sex, orgasm, and masturbation. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. So in this video, I'm going to talk about conscious masturbation and how you can use this as a tool in your life. We all love masturbation. Statistically, 90% of men continue masturbating even after they're married. They're in a sexual relationship, right? So it's clear that every man loves masturbating, but sometimes this relationship becomes an unhealthy one, right? It all depends on the way that you engage in masturbation. For what purpose are you doing it? How are you approaching it? Is this an addictive, impulsive outlet, or is it something that's actually bringing you energy, bringing you growth and pleasure in your life? Sustainable pleasure, I should say. There often develops in men in the semen retention no-fap community this guilt and shame around self-exploration, around self-pleasure. And of course, this is mostly arising from men who've been spending years masturbating to porn in a very unconscious way, and they're depleting their life force by ejaculating frequently, right? But this is a very different context than using masturbation as a tool to deepen your understanding of how your sexual energy works in your body, how to control your arousal, and how to separate orgasm from ejaculation and release some of the tension patterns you have that are causing you to ejaculate quickly and releasing these impulsive drives around how you experience sex, orgasm, and masturbation. Think about when you were first learning to experience sexual pleasure. It was a explorational experience. I'm guessing for you it wasn't an impulsive kind of quick fix, I need a quick little hit of dopamine. It was probably more of a explorational experience. You were exploring something new. You're exploring a part of your body that you had never really experienced in this way before, and it became profoundly pleasurable. Now, I'm sure it's different for everyone, but somewhere in time, masturbation for most men becomes a very compulsive, impulsive, addictive outlet, something that they do to release frustration, something they do just to get a quick hit of some feel-good chemicals in their body while sitting stiffly on a chair watching porn, right? And this becomes a daily routine for a lot of men. And it actually has very negative implications for your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, because excessive ejaculation and porn addiction causes many, many dysfunctions in the physical body, sexual dysfunctions, premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, dopamine imbalances, all kinds of things. So it's when masturbation becomes this unconscious pattern, something that you use to numb yourself, something you use to escape something, and that you're doing it in a very unconscious, intense way, in a very goal-oriented mindset. It's when it becomes a problem and it limits your experience of sex and orgasm in the long run, right? You only learn to experience this very short-lived ejaculatory orgasm, often rushing through all the pleasure that you could have in order to arrive at that point, which only lasts about 5 seconds, right? So upon realizing these things, a lot of men kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater. They say, well, masturbation is causing me to experience all these negative things. Therefore, it is entirely a terrible thing to do, and I should never touch my body again. And this becomes equally unhealthy because now you still have a very unconscious relationship to your sexuality. You haven't actually healed or overcome anything. You've simply repressed your sexual experience by not engaging with it anymore and saying, well, I'm just not going to touch this part of my body ever again, right? And so using conscious masturbation becomes a tool for shadow work. Really, shadow work is making the unconscious conscious. You start to understand, okay, these are my sexual habits. So masturbation, if done consciously, can be a tool for tremendous expansion of the pleasure that you feel, a way to gain control over sexual control so you can develop your ejaculation control, learn to experience full body states of orgasms so that you can have sex for hours and not have premature ejaculation, right? So now let's get to how do you actually practically engage in conscious masturbation. I would say there's several things you need to become aware of. This is a process of observation. It's a process of observing your reactivity to what's happening in the moment, right? Reactivity meaning that for most men, they experience arousal and it's very uncomfortable. It's like this uncomfortable feeling of like, oh, I need to resolve this sexual desire I have immediately. I need to find an outlet for this and ejaculate. For most men, that's the only outlet they have, is to ejaculate it out. And so be aware that when you're training in this conscious masturbation, your old habits are going to kick in. You're going to want to go over the edge and ejaculate. So there's a certain process I recommend that you follow to do this successfully. successfully, right? That's another reason why I highly recommend cross-training sexual practices with other body-mind modalities, such as Qigong, breathwork, and meditation. There's a reason I teach these things in great depth in my courses is because these tools, meditation, Qigong, breathwork, help you to really develop discipline and control over your mind and body, harmony of the mind and body, so that you're less likely to cave in and go back to old habits when you engage in sexual cultivation, right? So basically what I recommend that you do is to have a session of conscious masturbation, start with a relaxation practice. Lay on the ground and maybe play some ambient music, some meditative music, and spend at least 5 minutes just breathing deeply into your belly. So place your hands on your belly and just do some deep, slow abdominal breathing for 5 minutes. Focus on releasing all tension from your mind and your body. And so just focus on really, really relaxing. The biggest problem men have in regards to sexual experience is tension. Too much tension in the mind, too much tension in the body. And this causes both the desire to ejaculate and the inability to control ejaculation, right? Ejaculation is basically a tension response. So this is all about breaking your patterns, breaking your habits, right? If you engage in masturbation in the same, position that you're sitting in, the same room, sitting in front of the computer like you always have, it's going to be difficult to break your habits. So what we're doing is creating a completely different context for what masturbation looks like for you. So again, begin with 5 minutes of deep, relaxed, slow breathing, completely relaxing your body and mind. Once you feel relaxed, and it may take much longer than 5 minutes. You may spend 20 to 30 minutes in this stage if you have time, but I recommend at least 5 minutes. Then start to touch your body, touch your entire body. This is another big problem men have, is it goes straight to penis stimulation, not caring about anything else. It keeps you locked in this region of your body, and there's no room for the sexual energy to flow anywhere else because you're hyper focused on the genitals. So first of all, just move your hands along your entire body, your abdomen, your thighs, your erogenous areas. Where would you want a lover to touch you? Touch yourself in that way. So start to get your full body in this state of arousal and avoid going straight for your genitals. I recommend spending another 5 minutes in this stage. And also it's very important that throughout this, maintain slow, deep belly breathing and relaxation. Notice when you start to get tense in your mind and your body. You'll notice mental tension as a sort of desire to escape from what's happening in the moment. You start to become bored and you start to think about other things. You start to bring in sexual fantasies and things like that. So avoid these things and just stay completely present with your mind and your body, what you're feeling in the moment, staying relaxed. And after this stage of stimulating your whole body, then you can begin genital stimulation. But I recommend not just fist pumping as you always have, right? Make it as more of a sexual massage, just massaging your penis, your testicles, whatever you got, while breathing deeply and relaxing. And notice how you have the tendency to want to fist pump like you always did before. It's like something feels good, but you're like, well, this is enough. I want what's next. I want the orgasm, right? So you rush through it. So avoid that tendency, keeping your mind and your body relaxed, keeping your breathing deep and slow. Also notice as you start to stimulate yourself that there tends to be these patterns of tension in the body. Like you'll want to contract the pelvic floor, you'll want to contract your legs, your belly in response to what you're feeling. This is a tension response and you want to release this. So as you start to tense up, stop the stimulation, breathe deeply, and just relax. And then you can continue going. So the goal of this is not to ejaculate. It's not even necessarily to orgasm. It's to start exploring yourself, exploring what it feels like to stimulate yourself without the expectation of ejaculation, and to, at the end, contain all of that arousal that you've generated through the practice, contain all that pleasure in your body by allowing it to store in your body rather than ejaculating it outward. And this becomes a really life-changing dynamic to how you experience sex, how you experience pleasure. This is very, very good training for learning to last longer in bed and learning to experience full body states of orgasm. Because if you want to get there, first of all, you have to be comfortable just allowing yourself to be in the moment. No goal-oriented mindset, not trying to rush into anything, just relaxing, being very mindful and feeling what's happening. And then another thing I recommend is to, as you start to stimulate more and more, as your arousal starts to build, just become very aware of what it feels like. Just noticing, instead of thinking, oh, it could feel better, or I really want an orgasm instead, become hyper focused on what you are feeling. Notice how good it feels and just feel an appreciation for that. And also spread your awareness throughout your entire body. Notice what happens in my chest as I feel this pleasure in my genitals. Can I move it there? So you start to make this a whole body process of being completely in the moment. Your mind is very, very present in what's happening. You're nowhere else but here in the present moment. So it becomes very good training in a lot of levels. And so to finish the session, it may be a new concept for a lot of men to finish a masturbation session without ejaculating. But again, this is very, very good training. You don't want to ejaculate every time you have sexual activity. It will deplete your energy to ejaculate too much, right? So what I recommend doing is going back to the first stage, which is just relaxing deeply as you breathe into your belly relaxing all tension on the exhale. Just do that until you no longer feel strong arousal. You've distributed it throughout your body. And that is a conscious masturbation practice, all right? And so again, you're retraining yourself to not be so goal-oriented and impulsive during sexual activity. And this will help you to learn to delay gratification and to expand pleasure. And this will, first of all, make you a better lover for yourself, a better lover of your own body, your own being, and being able to engage in self-pleasure without guilt, but also without unhealthy habits, we could say, that are depleting you in the long run. And it will make you a better lover as well. You'll be less impulsive. You'll be less likely to just go for your own ejaculation as soon as you get the opportunity at the expense of the long-term potential pleasure that the session can bring when you delay that, right? So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, this is a small sample of what I'm teaching in my 12-week course, Multi-Orgasmic Man, which is opening very soon. There's more information about this course in the link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends.